The Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, has done an interview where he addresses the issue of Miss South Africa contestant Chidimma Vanessa Onwe Adetshina. Yesterday evening, the Patriotic Alliance around 9 p.m. posted a statement regarding the matter. The statement reads 31 July 2024, nationality issue of Miss South Africa contestant Vanessa Chidimma Onwe Adetshina. The Patriotic Alliance has noted concerns around the participation of Vanessa Chidimma Onwe Adetshina as a Miss South Africa finalist. The immediate concern remains to determine whether Adetshina indeed is a South African citizen. Conflicting reports are circulating, including on whether her mother has in fact ever been South African. The contestant herself has also not clarified this issue, which does not give the people of South Africa comfort. The Miss South Africa organizers have been quick to support Adetshina's candidacy and declare it legitimate. However, it is clear from video material in circulation of her with her family that Adetshina's family is fully Nigerian and that they are celebrating her success as Nigerians, not South Africans. Miss South Africa is meant to be a patriotic ambassador for South Africa wherever she goes in the world. She must represent the best of what it means to be a young South African woman in this country today, and she must promote South Africa's interest wherever she will go. The arrogance of Nigerian foreigners in South Africa and their sense of entitlement in this country has now reached a level where a possible Nigerian is standing to be crowned as Miss South Africa. South Africans may be excluded from something that literally has South Africa in its name. As the Patriotic Alliance, we are therefore pursuing legal avenues to get to the bottom of this matter, including interdicting Adetshina's participation if necessary, issued by Deputy President Kenny Kunene. End. The statement does mention a video that has been circulating of Adetshina celebrating with her family. This is the video that they are talking about. Now, apart from this video, there have been clips of an alleged interview that Adetshina's father did with a radio station. So one user posted the clip and captioned it, "So Chidimma Adetshina's father had an interview. Honestly, I am more interested than before." Chidimma's father says he came to South Africa in 2010 on a tourist visa, got married. Somehow Chidimma, aka Chichi, is 23 years old, meaning she was born in 2001. How is Chichi 23 when they met during the World Cup, which was 14 years ago? So we must not question this fraud happening before our eyes. Miss South Africa is running a scam on us with Nigerians. Some very inflammatory claims and allegations over there. So let me play the clip for the interview of Adetshina's father.
Origin?
I'm a Nigerian and my wife is a South African.
Oh, all right.
And I've lived in South Africa as well. I spent 10 years in South Africa.
And do you have kids in South Africa?
Yes, I do.
And I suppose they are South African citizens.
Exactly.
All right. And what surname are they using?
My surname.
Your surname?
Because I'm married to their mom, yes.
All right. Okay. And on what visa were you here?
Actually, as I said, I got married. Okay, I met my wife in the UK. She's a South African, by the way. So we met in the UK. So in 2010, during World Cup, we decided we're gonna visit. At that time, we don't have children, so we decided we're gonna visit South Africa to watch the World Cup. So that was my first year. That's my first time entering South Africa. So I came with a visitor visa because there's no other visa suitable for watching a World Cup other than visiting visa. So we came there, the World Cup ended, we returned back. I think it was a few weeks. We returned back to the UK. Then I have to return back again in 2013, and then with a visitor's visa, then got married to my wife in South Africa. So I am.
Okay, wait a minute. I like it. With a visitor's visa, you got
Right.
married to your South African woman.
Yes.
All right.
That's correct.
Okay. So I am going to ask you the same question I asked you, Kamba. In your heart,
Right.
are your kids a South African or Nigerian?
It's called dual citizen. They are both.
Okay, but then when you look at them, do you see them as Nigerian kids or otherwise?
That's what I've just said. They are
Okay,
Nigerian. They are Nigerian kids that have every single right that you have as a South African. They also have. So they are the Nigerian kids.
So that is the alleged interview clip of Adetshina's father. It definitely does produce more questions than answers, which the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, did allude to during his interview with 94.7. A user on social media posted the clip of Gayton McKenzie's interview, captioned it, "Gayton McKenzie speaks about the Nigerian's contestant trying her luck in South Africa."
I will still hold the view that no Nigerian, no Zimbabwean, no Italian, no American should become Mr. South Africa. Miss South Africa. Why then? There's Miss World for those things. There's Miss Universe for those things. But South Africa, Miss South Africa is an ambassador of the country. Is a person that will export our culture. Is a person that will export our way of life to the world. Is a person that will go and make sure people want to visit our country. All I'm saying is that I've seen videos, number one, where she's celebrating, and there's nothing wrong celebrating with a lot of Nigerians. But when your father goes on the radio and he says that he met your mom in 2010, and then she fell pregnant in 2010, that makes you 14 years old. The father said, and at the end of the interview, the father was asked, "Do you see your daughter South African or Nigerian?" The father said on the interview, "I see her as Nigerian." I listened to it.
Right.
Now, I am not wanting to cast any aspersions, but that gives a bit of vibes. If my father was being asked, what am I? Then I've got no business representing Mr. South Africa, because my father says I'm not South African. But if the lady, people must not mistake if you are born in South Africa that you are South African. A human being born, a cow being born in a horse stable doesn't make you a horse. And that is the law.
So what would you like to see? Because that is literally next weekend.
I would like to see, I would not like to go the route that it is taking now. I would like to see a more amicable atmosphere surrounding this thing. At the moment, all we're asking for is, please give us, please answer our questions. It's not enough when they say one thing and the parents say another thing in the interview. It will be a travesty of justice. There's no South African that can represent America. Why do we allow things? And I'm not even saying she's Nigerian. But if you ask me today, are you South African? I'm going to say yes. Particularly when I'm going to represent South Africa.
At this point, if you've been on social media, you have seen many reactions from South Africa debating Chidimma's eligibility to represent South Africa in the Miss South Africa pageant. So it was interesting to see a Nigerian on social media give their take on the matter.
I don't know if you have heard, but South Africa is divided over this beautiful lady. Now, her name is Chidimma Vanessa Onwe Adetshina. So she's a finalist in the upcoming Miss South Africa pageant. Now, South Africans are saying that she's not South African enough to represent her country, but she's born of a Nigerian father and a South African mother. Some people are saying her mother is from Mozambique. But in all these things, I am going to blame her father and also her mother. I mean, you have a child with a woman from another country. You live in her country, and her child has 4 legal names. Out of those 4 legal names, none of them is reflecting her mother's culture. None of them. None. And she has 4 names. It's as if her mother just gave birth to the child just like that. 4.
Now, in this debate, there are some that have accepted that, yes, indeed, she was born in South Africa. She does have South African citizenship. However, she does not represent South Africa. She does not have South African names, as you have just heard from that previous post on social media. And she doesn't really represent South Africa culturally, as you saw in those images of her celebrating with her family in her advancement in the competition. Another user on social media who is not South African, who probably can relate to what Adetshina is going through, had the following perspective on the matter.
Initially, I didn't want to say anything about this Miss South Africa controversy that's happening until someone DM'd me talking about it, and I was like, okay, I just know I come in peace, okay? This beautiful lady, Chidimma, she's running for Miss South Africa. She's half Mozambican, half Nigerian, but she was born and raised in South Africa, okay? So she qualifies to run for Miss South Africa according to the rules of Miss South Africa. Some South Africans are not okay with her representing South Africa because they feel like she's not fully South African. So at first, when all of this started, I thought they just don't want her to compete because she's Nigerian. But then as I've come to understand more, the issue is that she is not culturally South African. So yes, she was born in South Africa, she grew up in South Africa, that's fine, she has citizenship, but she does not represent them culturally. So she does not come from a South African tribe, she does not have a traditional South African name, etc. When it comes from that point of view, then I can kind of understand where people are coming from. But then on the other hand, the bullying that she's facing and people telling her to drop out of the competition and the petitions and all of this, I feel like it's not fair on her because she did nothing wrong. All she did was apply and she met the criteria. If anyone should get heat, I think it should maybe be Miss South Africa because they are the ones who set up the rules and regulations and the criteria on who qualifies and who doesn't qualify to represent South Africa. Either way, my question is what's going to happen if she does win? Because there's a very high chance that she might win because she's getting so much media attention, and this in a way could be benefiting her. And also, as someone who's half Congolese, half Malawian, raised in South Africa, I can kind of relate to her. I feel bad for her.
So do get in the comment section down below and let me know, what did you guys think about the Patriotic Alliance's statement, and also what Gayton McKenzie had to say during his interview about Miss South Africa contestant Vanessa Chidimma Onwe Adetshina.